Hello, darlings. I'm sorry I'm late. Oh, dear. Oh, my gosh. Oh, I need that. Oh, my God. Good evening, my little plum duffs. And a jolly warm welcome to this. What is it? Christ. Thursday Night Live. Good evening and welcome to Thursday Night Live. With me, your ever punctual and professional host, Boaty. Yes, me. And I'm going to be coming into all of your available orifices pretty much non-stop for the next 56 minutes. And I'm literally orgasmic with joy to be here with you all again. What an absolutely wonderful and splendid thing this is. And I genuinely couldn't be happier. In fact, if it wasn't rude, I would clutch my little tinkle with excitement. But let us not forget the trouble I got into last night with my little tinkle and you guys giving it a good. Anyway, we don't need to talk about that, do we? Todger scratching and all of that. So I'm here, you're here. It's all joyful and wonderful. I really need a sip of wine. It's hard work, this being in charge of stuff, and making plans and changing things and training people and all of that sort of nonsense. Anyway, so yes, good evening, and obviously, I want to. Oh, hang on, before we do anything else, massive, massive, massive congratulations to my bestest chum in the whole wide world, my lovely husband, Captain Mustard, and his YouTube channel, Project Nigel, which has hit the massive, memorable, monolithic, monumental milestone. That was a lot of M's, wasn't it? I like being alliterative on a Thursday night. He has hit the incredible milestone of 5,000 subscribers. So, massive congratulations to Mustard. Incredibly well deserved. And here's to the next 5,000. Other than that, I want to hear all about you. How's your day been? What have you been eating today? Has anything nearly but not quite fallen on your head? Are you making plans to go to the NEC? And anything else you want to throw at me, really? Have you ever tried the Vimto cordial hot, as it suggests on the label? It does. I've got the big bottle of Vimto here because, as you know, I'm an incredibly successful businessman now these days. So I can afford £3 for the big bottle. I mean, actually, I can't. Obviously, tongue in cheek, joking, massively unsuccessful, poor as a church mouse. You know me. But look, try it hot, it says. And I don't fancy that in the least tiny thing. I've only got this big bottle of Vimto because it was on special offer, nectar offer, and it was the same price as the smaller bottle. So it made perfect sense. I'm going to shut up now and I'm going to see, because I rattled on quite a lot last night, didn't I? And I enjoyed it very much. But tonight, I'm going to theme it more about you lot. Well, that's a theory. I'll just end up rattling on as usual, won't I? Steve Colg is with us. Jimmy Quinn is with us. Good evening, Boaty and all. Good evening to you, Jimmy. The lovely Barry is here. That guy from SETI Alpha 5. And he says, Nasweith Boaty and Guten Tag, people. Guten Tag. Wie geht es? Sophie, the lovely Sophie, is here. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all well. How are you, Boaty, and how's your lovely day been? My day has been... Well, it's been all right. It was a little bit frustrating. Like a good boy, I woke myself up good and early this morning to be ready for the windscreen man. And, I had to be potentially prepared, and that's more alliteration. And you get this free of charge, folks, unless you're a channel member, in which case it costs you something between 99p and £4.99 or whatever the hell it is I charge for the upper. Oh, and I've got news for you channel members. You are going to be getting some new and exciting benefits soon. Oh, yes, you certainly are. My God, I mean, clutch your private parts with anticipation. Why don't you? I would. And I mean, I would clutch my private parts if I was in your situation. I don't mean that I would personally clutch your private parts. Well, that kind of depends who's watching. I don't know exactly who's watching. 99.9% of you, and those that I know will be watching, I, no offense, but I'm not going to clutch your private parts. If there's, some charming, dusky maiden watching, then, don't take it as I might clutch it. Look, basically, darlings, I reserve the right to not clutch the private parts of some of you, but I also reserve the right to potentially clutch the private parts of somebody who may or may not be watching that I am not aware of. So basically, let's iron this out between us. What I'm saying is that if you are watching this, there is a strong possibility that I will not now and will never clutch your private parts. However, there is also a slight possibility that I might clutch the private parts of somebody who is watching this, but I'm not yet aware that they're watching this. I'm glad to have cleared that up, and thank you for asking. Where did I get to? Oh, hello, Neil's here. Oh no, I didn't finish telling Sophie about my day, did I? So, like a good little boy, I got up. Well, I didn't get up, but I was awake. I took my phone to bed with me last night, even though none of you texted me to remind me. And I was poised and ready for a potential 8:30 visit from the windscreen man. As it happens, he didn't rock up until about 12:30. So that's okay. What isn't okay is the fact that he rocked up with the wrong bloody windscreen, didn't he? Not his fault. He didn't select it. He was just a chap who came out in a van to fit it. Except, I will take myself off to the naughty corner of shame for that. Outrageous. I mean, I'm just talking nicely to my friends, my dearest friends, and that cavernous, epitomous burp popped out. There's no excuse for it. All I can ask you to believe is that that was unplanned and unsolicited. I did not invite that burp, ladies and gentlemen. The problem is, darlings, if you spend a period of time talking non-stop, air is going to come out of various places. And let's just be grateful that it came out the top and not out the bottom, shall we? Thank you so much. Because if air comes out of your bottom, you can get tased for that, or tasered for that in America. And if you don't believe me, watch my video on the subject. One of my famous thrown to the floor series, my favorite series of my videos. I've only done 2 so far, but they're both really good. And they feature fat American people being thrown to the floor. And this latest video is a particularly good one because not only was she thrown to the floor, but she was then tasered. Why? Because she farted in public. And in America, that can get you shot. Ugh. And as who was it? Was it Cooperman? Somebody pointed out that's probably why I don't live there anymore. And they've got a point. I mean, if you're getting arrested and shot for public farting in America now, how long would I last? Admittedly, it happened to her in Walmart, and you wouldn't catch me in bloody Walmart. That's a bit like Lidl. It's a bit lower caste, Not for the likes of us, darlings. We are all, we're all Sainsbury's people at a very minimum. And I like to think that most of us are Waitrose people, and some of you, quite frankly, Fortnum and Masons, without a shadow of a doubt. Neil's here, aka the Gibbonator, and I was very abused by Captain Mustard musing I did watch your live stream this afternoon, Mustard. No, I didn't. I listened to it on the way to work. I couldn't take part because I was driving. And it did quite amuse me, the idea of Neil gibbonating around the place. I quite enjoy that. I like the idea of Neil just roaming around, gibbonating things, gibbonating people. Feature number 12. Would you like to be gibbonated by Neil? Oh, hello. Speaking of gibbonators, Cheeseburger here is here, the ultimate master of shithousery. And I think we firmly established beyond any reasonable doubt last night that if our own General Cheeseburger and Tyson Fury, the lineal heavyweight boxing champion of the world, if they were, but also a notable shithouser himself, if they were put into the squared circle in an ultimate shithouse off, I think we firmly established that our General Cheeseburger would undoubtedly, within the space of 3 rounds of shithousery, just have Tyson Fury crying like a girl and wetting himself in the middle of the ring. Imagine that. Tyson Fury wetting his big niggers. Oh, knickers. Oh, dear. Oh, God, that's this demonetized, isn't it? Knickers. I said knickers. Slip of the tongue. YouTube. Don't cancel my account. I can say that word anyway. I can say the N word. I'm allowed to because I am one. I'm black. I'm of black heritage, and we're allowed to use the word. We've reclaimed it for our own use, so that it's no longer a term of abuse. We have embraced it, so I'm allowed to say it. It's just all of you white lot out there that aren't. Yeah. So there you go. All you honkies. all of you round eyes. God. Thursday night racism with Boaty. Can't beat it. Oh dear. Boaty's late again, says Baddy. Yeah, I was late getting home from work. I'm so sorry. There was stuff going on tonight. I was doing things. I'm busy making a difference, and one of the differences that I'm busy making, or one of the potential differences, what do you think about this? Me and the lovely Jyoti, we are talking about opening the restaurant at weekend, late mornings and lunchtime, and doing an Asian-inspired breakfast or 11s and lunch sittings. So that would be quite exciting. And that would also bring up some possibilities for some community meets. And it looks as if I'm trying to waft away some unpleasant flatulence, but I'm not. I've just got into a bit of a role doing this, and I can't seem to break myself out of it. There you go. Where did I get to? Oh, yeah, here we are. No, I'm not Neil. There is no girl in space. I haven't got time for a girl at the moment. Well, I sort of have. Well, no, there hasn't been any of that. We're all friends here, darlings, and I don't keep any secrets from you. So I haven't had the time for a girl lately, and with the way things have been, I haven't really had the inclination. There has been nothing going on in girl terms since, when was it? A week ago today. It were last Thursday. That's right, because Wednesday I cancelled my lunch date to what did we do? What did we do last Wednesday? I did something with Mustard, and it wasn't what I was planning to do after the lunch date. We did something. Oh, we went and bought a car, didn't we? We went to Lytham St Anne's. That's right. We went and bought a car, and I cancelled the lunch date to do that. And then I had the lunch date on Thursday, and it went very well. In fact, the date lasted until Friday morning, basically. But there has been nothing since then. And Neil, there is definitely not a girl in handcuffs in the spare room. Although on the subject of girls and stuff, as I threatened to do as part of my singles remit, I did sign up for Tinder for a laugh. And I had a look at it today while I was buggering about waiting for the windscreen man. And who did I see on Tinder? None other but the artist formerly known as Mrs. Boaty. Yes, the lovely Maggie is hawking her pearly on Tinder. So just for a laugh, I swiped whichever way it is you swipe. When I can't remember what it is, I don't know exactly how it works. You swipe one way if you're willing to podger them, and the other way if you're not. I think something. So I swiped in the pottering direction just for shits and giggles, darlings. I mean, well, but then in another sense, why wouldn't I? I did marry the woman after all. Although, God Almighty, talk about making you feel old. Looking at her profile, I think she's 60. I knew she was 60. It was her birthday in August-ish. August or September, somewhere around there. Anyway, but yeah, that made me feel a bit old. But there we are. Now, where did I get to? Oh, Trisha Alderman is here, and she hopes we've had a good day, which is lovely. And we hope the same about you, Trisha. Dan Peters is here. Hello, sir. I join you on this rather cold night, and it is rather cold, isn't it? And thank you for joining us, Dan. Your presence, your lovely presence has, I'm going to burp again. Oh, that was a bit of a croaker. Bit of a long drawn out croaker, that one. Now I've got the ultimate frog in my throat. It's all happening, isn't it? Hello, Joe is here. Cars with JC says, evening all. Boaty's World, sponsored by the late God. I can't help it, Barry. I can't help it. I rushed home as fast as my little wheels would carry me, and it wasn't quite in time. Watch the chair there, Boaty says so. Indeed. Dan has been working most of the day in London, and traffic wasn't good. It seldom is in London, Dan. Cheeseburger suggests that we should give me detention, an extra 5 minutes live. I'll take that. Here's Boaty, says Steve Dell. Diddly-do. What's up, muddy funsters, says Ben. Good evening, Ben. James Wilson is here. This is fabulous. All sorts of wonderful people. And we're all right in the midst of each other. And James says, evening all. So may I introduce to you the act you've known for all these years. Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. I couldn't have put it better myself. Dan had to go to one of their so-called peri-peri chicken places. Not something I would normally go to, but I'd had no food all day. It was not spicy whatsoever. Sorry about that. Project Nigel, Captain Mustard himself, with all of his 5,000 subscribers, is here and says, hello evening, making plans. Oh, Barry, you're talking bull mud, you cake sucker. Yeah, that's a reference to what we were talking about last night. And yeah, I love that. Everybody's saying hello to Mustard. Oh, well done, Mustard. Jolly good. Yeah, congrats, Captain. Congratulations, Project Nigel. Well done, Paul and Project Nigel. Well done, Paul. Celebration video to you. Thanks, everyone, says Mustard. Hello, Boaty, and everyone, says Andrew. Hello to you. Joe, congratulations, Paul. Mustard says, I'm watching. Cheeseburger says, channel member benefits. I hope he isn't going to sing. That wouldn't be a benefit, would it? James Wilson says, I don't even eat mustard, to be honest. But I always get told by my granddad that French was milder than English, as he preferred French mustard. Well, the mustard that's known as French mustard, it is indeed milder than English mustard, and it is indeed absolutely shit. But the best mustard in the world is Moutarde de Dijon, or Dijon mustard. Unquestionably the best mustard in the world. Or is it? Because now, you and I, have we not, we've discovered Tewkesbury mustard, or horseradish mustard. And is that better than Dijon mustard? Yeah, it's up there, isn't it? It's up there. Sometimes I think that mustard is horses for courses, and some mustards are better suited to some things. Like Captain Mustard is ideally suited to me. He's a very welcome, hairy part of my life, and I welcome him. And we've started hugging. We've started getting all tactile, me and Mustard. Quite disturbing, isn't it? I mean, I did hug him like this because I wanted that warmth and friendliness. I wanted that manly Paddington embrace, but I did not want to be poked by the mighty Mustard missile. Thank you very much. So I tried to keep you know what I mean? When you just do a bit like that. A bit like when you were doing the slow dance at the church disco when you were 14, and the erection section comes on, and you're dancing with Debbie Heggs, the vicar's daughter, and you suddenly develop an absolute diamond cutter of a boner. It would literally cut through diamonds, and you just automatically have to back away a bit because you know that it's not appropriate to poke your perky little todger into Debbie Heggs, who is the vicar's daughter, or was the vicar's daughter. Well, she probably still is his daughter. I don't know if he's still alive, and I don't know if he's still a vicar. He might have been defrocked. And Debbie Heggs was certainly defrocked. Not by me, I hasten to add, but defrocked she was, let me assure you of that. Gosh. Debbie Heggs, I haven't thought about her for 40 years. Bless her. Hope she's doing all right. Cheers, Debs, wherever you are. And thanks for, thanks for that. Oh dear. Matchborough Centre at the church cheeseburger. You know what I'm talking about. A message held for review from Jimmy Quinn. No singing, Boaty. Don't worry, I'm not going to sing. We're back onto mustards. Cheeseburger says, James, it was always French mustard until Boaty introduced me to horseradish mustard. Boaty has changed my life. Yeah, well, I'll take that. And yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, darlings, Tewkesbury mustard, as it has traditionally been known, is a mixture of mustard and horseradish. And Sainsbury's now do yourselves a favour, try it. It is amazing. Oh, beautiful. And look, I really need to get a new pot, don't I? There's barely a portion in there. Oh, it does smell nice. But I'm glad I've changed your life, Cheeseburger. I mean, I know I've changed it in other ways as well. I've made you hate yourself and question your sanity. But there you go. That's what being friends with me does to you. Barry says, my wife is the only one who's allowed to clutch my meat and 2 veg. No offence, Boaty, but no thanks. Oh, okay. Can't get the horseradish mustard, says Krisha. Do you not have a Sainsbury's near you, darling? Sainsbury's do it. I don't like the sound of horseradish, to be honest, says James. Gravy for me the most. Oh, horseradish is wonderful. Have you been eating lamb again, Boaty? Absolutely not. Boaty's clutches. Discounts are available if a reach round is permitted. Release bearing grease is complimentary. Oh, dear. Steve W is here. Considering he wasn't going to talk, he hasn't shut up. Does he breathe through his skin? Oh dear. Waitrose, is that the place where everything is overpriced? No. And people think they're like the Monopoly man because they shop there. Yes. Oh, Trisha got it once at Sainsbury's, but never since. Oh dear. Does Neil do the funky gibbon? What a good question, Cheeseburger. You see, Neil is a fetus. I mean, he's a very large fetus and a very imposing fetus. And, he would break you in half if you annoyed him. But I strongly suspect that being a fetus the lovely Neil probably has no idea what the funky gibbon is. But interestingly, it was on this exact day, a number of years ago, and I can't remember how many, that the Goodies first aired on BBC Two, their very first time on television. And of course, the Goodies is where the funky gibbon comes from. Oh, I said I wouldn't sing, didn't I? Now I'm going to do the funky gibbon. Yeah, it was an absolutely dreadful song. Back to work for me, says Andrew. Have a great night, everyone. Ta-ta for now. And ta-ta for you. Have a good day at work. Cheeseburger lets Tricia know that they have it in the Redditch Sainsbury's, which is probably not tremendously valuable information if Tricia lives 200 miles away from Redditch. I can do the funky gibbon, says Neil, but unfortunately it's reserved for private dances only. So there you go. Get yourself over to Neil's OnlyFans channel. Steve W. I hear you're a racist now, Father. We need more Father Ted references. All of these live streams should be peppered with Father Ted, Faulty Towers, and Monty Python references. Oh, and not the 9 o'clock news. And Harry Enfield. Squeeze them in, the more the better. That was one of the better ones. I hear you're a racist now, Father. God, I loved Father Ted. Oh, dear. I'm not sure I'd have time for the old racism. I loved Father Ted all the more because, like many of the best comedies, there's, it's an exaggerated version, of course, but it's kind of based on truth. And of course, I married into an Irish family, didn't I? Going over to Ireland, that at times, certainly on the two pilgrimages I made to Knock, which is the second largest pilgrimage destination outside of Lourdes. That was just, it was just a Father Ted episode. I was just in a Father Ted episode both times. And indeed, Tricia has proved my point. Thanks, Cheeseburger, for letting me know that horseradish mustard is available in Redditch, but we live in Norfolk. So there you go. Well, if we're demonetized, then anything goes, says Cheeseburger. Good point. Tonight, Boaty digs the biggest hole, says Steve Dell. Oh, and Cheeseburger admonishes Tricia and says, well, that's the price you pay for living in Norfolk, isn't it? What about the restaurant near you that you were trying to buy, says Barry? Good question. Forgot all about that. Ignition Cars and Coffee. I don't know what's going on with that. I haven't looked into it because other things happened. But I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know who's paying for it, if anybody. I don't know if what's his name from Ignition is still responsible for the lease. It's not been trading as Ignition for a couple of months now. I drove past it yesterday and there was a Lamborghini, I think it was a Huracan, or some form of Lamborghini was in there in display on the window. I don't know what's going on with it. I would love to have a go at that place. I really would, but not on the terms of the lease that Ignition had it. I happen to know how much they were paying for the lease, and I really couldn't see how that could be viable. Certainly not on the business model that they were doing of just opening on a Saturday and Sunday, and opening and selling relatively low margin stuff. Just couldn't see how it would work. Now, at the right price point, I'm pretty sure that I could make it work. But there's other stuff going on now, isn't there? There's the Airbnb project that I'm really excited about. I've been doing my little bit of research into that, making plans. I think I've got the formation of a plan. need to get the assurance, obviously, that the deal is going through and that we've got the property. But at the moment, assuming that the deal does go through, I would be looking at working on it as a sort of shared space. I think Airbnb call it. So I figured that the really cool, massive loft area, I'd have that for myself as a base. And then the rest of the space, I figured I'd make 3 or 4 like businessmen's bed sits, if you like, a bit like a hotel room. So they'd have, they'd have their bed and they'd have some sitting space and a bit of workspace. Because there's shed loads of space up there. So because there are businessmen staying at the Premier Inn in Ripley all the time. They come into the restaurant, they order takeaways. So I know that there's going to be a demand. So I figured that if I created spaces for businessmen, then and they're working on expense accounts. I thought I'd get them both ways. I thought I'll get the Airbnb fee out of them, but then they'll eat and drink in the restaurant, so we'll make money there as well. And yeah, that's the current idea. So I'm not going to make any structural alterations, just have it as a big old 4 or 5 bedroom flat, whatever it is, and turn the bedrooms into like bed sits, knock them out at whatever they go out at, 45 quid a night, something like that. They can share the bloody bathroom and the kitchen, or bathrooms. I don't know how many bathrooms there are. I can't remember. I mean, I've spent time up there, but I've not had a proper nose around it, really. I know there's plenty of potential. So they'd eat and drink in the restaurant, get the money out of them there, get the Airbnb fee out of them. It'd be a base for. I mean, it would be quite a flexible thing, wouldn't it? And I think that would be a sensible way to go forward, because with the Airbnb model, you're not tied into anything, are you? You've you just don't advertise it on certain dates, and you've got a place where you can have 20 of your mates around for a party, that sort of thing, or a community hub meet or something like that. So there's all of that going on. There's the fact that I'm trying to transform the restaurant a bit and just tweak it up a level in certain terms, bringing in some new things. I had the lovely Boaty with me tonight, and we've been introducing some different practices, and that's kind of why I was a bit late. We've got this idea for the weekend lunch services, which is something I've been wanting to do for ages, because it seems insane to me, absolutely insane to me, that you have these business premises, and you're paying for those 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but you're only using them for 5 or 6 hours in the evening, or they're only earning money 5 or 6 hours in the evening. Seems daft. You've got a commercial kitchen there, and you've got a restaurant area. Do something with it during the day as well. Okay, maybe you can't use the same staff, but because there's only so many hours in the day they're able to work. But set up a different set of staff in there and do something different at lunchtimes. So, and this was Jyoti's idea for the weekend, not mine, but I'm thoroughly and totally on board with it. So it'd be quite cool to open Saturdays and Sundays and have like I don't know, 10 till 12, have a brunch stroke 11's service menu, whatever, and then 12 till 3 have a kind of light lunch bistro type arrangement, and I'd be all up for that. And it would all start to tie together if I'm doing the Airbnb thing upstairs as well, because that could all tie in with it, and I would just have to base myself there for, I don't know, 2, 3 nights a week or whatever it was, certainly over the weekends, and then just spend the rest of the time here. So this would become more of a hidey away, escapey, high day and holiday type place. I don't know. It's all exciting to think about, isn't it? Like people down in the south don't know what a pudding is. Well, they probably think it's a dessert, but they wouldn't know what a pudding is in terms of the upside down pie type puddings now. Steve W. So he says something mildly racist by mistake and then tries to fix it by mentioning many, many more worse slurs and laughing about it. Yeah. So now we know the truth, says Cheeseburger. Boaty cancelled last Thursday's live because he was getting his leg over. I've never denied it, Cheeseburger. I haven't. It was Thursday was great. Thursday was brilliant. Friday morning was very nice as well. And then it all went to shit after about 9 o'clock on Friday morning. That's when it all started to go very sadly downhill. Thursday was brilliant. Really brilliant. And I'll tell you what, I don't want to sound immodest, but I was on rather good form. Oh, yes. Simone, Hooked on Classics, here again. Hello to you. Jimmy Quinn says, Cheeseburger, I think he was humping on Thursday. Benefits, says Simone. I wish I had a friend with those. Neil says, Jesus, it's turning into Brokeback Yard of Dreams. Well, you've mentioned this before, Barry. I podgered a bridesmaid in my Capri once. She was the village Bobby's daughter. Oops. Video title from Cheeseburger. She was only the vicar's daughter, but all the horsemen knew her. Right, screenshot that. If anybody else has got a title for tonight's video, bring it on. Simone says, horseradish and mustard is gross. No, it's not. Let alone together, yuck. Well, you're wrong. You don't know what you're missing out on. Or maybe you do know what you're missing out on and it doesn't suit your palate. But horseradish, fantastic. Mustard, amazing. Horseradish mustard, different level. Ooh. Oh, the lovely John is with us, John Stoodley. And John and I have been pinging messages to and fro today. Yeah. John has had some, John's going through some health issues at the moment. And regarding what we were talking about earlier, John, then, yeah, I think I totally agree with your decision, mate. And I totally agree with your reasons for making it. And we'd all be keeping everything crossed. Mustard says, I really like mustard and horseradish with cheese. Who's with me? Not me. Gobshite, says Simone. Oh, now we're doing the Father Ted stuff. I love this. Nuns, reverse. Can Pat put his massive tool in my box, Father? Oh, keep bringing these on. Rover Joe's here. Boaty, Rover Joe. I can't give you your own song as a welcome like Mustard did earlier, but we will give Rover Joe a virtual hug. Come on, everybody. Hug the lovely Rover Joe. We could recite the Fawlty Towers cricket scene with the Major. That would get him chucked off YouTube. Oh, God, wouldn't it just? Oh, God, and I know it word for word, and you know I do, Cheeseburger, and I know you do. And the strange thing was, throughout, she kept referring to the Indians as, no, I said, are the West Indians. These people are, you can't say any of it. I don't know how they got away with it. I really don't. Oh, God almighty. She's still got my wallet. Oh, hello, Ronnie Cray. There's a new name. The goodies actually appeared in my video tonight, says Mustard. Oh, right. Jolly good. Drink, says Jimmy Quinn. I see, jolly good. I'm not allowed to show that one. I'm afraid YouTube won't allow me. Cheeseburger says, Paul, mustard, horseradish and cheese. I wouldn't follow you to the toilet. Horseradish, what the heck is that? Asks Ronnie. Most businessmen, says Cheeseburger, have a limit for accommodation and a separate limit for evening meal. It's normally 125 quid for both. So charge them 125 quid for accommodation and food with a bottle of wine or 2 pints. Well, that's useful information, Cheeseburger, and that is a very good idea. In fact, that is a brilliant idea. Offering a package so that their room comes with their evening meal and drink it. Brilliant idea. Thank you, sir. Ugh. Oh, God, I'm even past apologizing for that. You're just going to have to accept that you're sitting here live streaming with a man in his early mids. No, I'm not. I'm in my late mids. I'm actually in my early late, aren't I? I'm basically in God's waiting room. God knows all of my friends are falling off the twig. Oh, and my Rob, the lovely Rob, bless him, his funeral is on the 28th. So I'm going to be there. I wouldn't miss that for the world. And I know this is where it gets really weird. But, I mean, there obviously can't be a plus side to a man that you love very dearly dying too soon and not seeing his grandchildren fully grow up and all of that. But it'll be a good piss up and I'll see some of my ex-girlfriends. And Rob would approve of that. In fact, knowing Rob as I do, he would want me to pull at his funeral and get laid. So we can give that a go. Oh, hello, Reggie's turned up now. Dear me, we've got the twins. We got the twins with us. Video title, Don't Mention the War. I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it. And bloody hell, I've caught up with the comments, so you can't complain tonight. You can't whinge tonight. Yeah, it was Basil Fawlty. It references the cricket scene. We can't talk. Yeah, I don't know how they got away with that. And the strange thing was, throughout, I was very keen on it. I took her to see India at the Oval. Do you know? John Cleese and Ballard Barkley, who played the major, they're both insane cricket fans in real life, and they had a secret non-verbal messaging system, so that when they were actually filming, when one of them was being, in scene being filmed, they could, and the other one was offset listening to the radio. They could, using these non-verbal messages, this secret code between them, they could communicate what the latest happening was with the cricket, when there was a test match on during filming. I think that's quite cool. Oh, hello. That gobshite again, says Buddy. Is he never off the air? That's another... Yeah, that's another Father Ted reference, isn't it? Good God, goodness gracious me! You've only caught up because there are only 20 of us here. Yeah, we are a bit thin on the ground tonight, Cheeseburger. Now, what's that? It's a blue. Oh, it's a super chat. Project Nigel, the lovely mustard. I'm going to heart this. The lovely mustard has sent me £1. Oh. Brilliant. £1. Thank you, Captain. I shall go to a shop and spend it tomorrow. Oh, a lovely £1 from my lovely mustard. Oh, mustard, while you're there. I'm going to I'm going to screenshot a message and send it to you because you're going to be better dealing with it than I am. And I think apparently we've got the ABS and the the airbag light sorted. So I'll ping it to you when I'm done here. Oh, don't spend, save. Like Jesus. Jesus saves. He did. You don't see Jesus going down pound land and buying a pound's worth of, I don't know, licorice, all sorts, do you? No, Jesus saves. Good old Jesus. What a splendid chap. Ben says, title, Pulling at the Wake. It's what Rob wanted. I'll screenshot that. Right. Okay. See above from John. Can you elaborate? John. Oh, aspirated to explain it. Yeah. Okay. Right. This is a little bit of community togetherness here. One for all for one, all of that sort of thing. So last night, our friend John. Oh, hang on. Has somebody else done a nice thing? Who did that? Oh, hello. Ben has gifted a membership. Oh, who's got that? Oh, and Barry got it. That's very nice. That's very nice. Thank you, Ben. And thank you so much for that. That's really generous. My channel memberships have just dive bombed because you were all so lovely and kind and generous just over a month ago. And I had lots and lots of members. I think I got up to 53, something like that. I mean, only half of the amount that Mustard's got, but he's better than me at YouTube and more popular than me and a nicer person than me. So that's only right and proper. But when the month went kind of up, nobody kept them going. So that's really kind. Thank you, Ben. And Barry is once again a channel member. That's spiffing. Right. Yeah, last night, John was saying that he'd had a couple of mini strokes or TIAs. And we've been chatting via Messenger today. And basically, obviously he's been in and been checked out and had the tests and so on and so on and so on. And the cause of these TIAs is a blood clot. I think at the base of his neck or the top of his spine. And with the blood clot being there, then the chances are that there will be further TIAs, and they could be of greater severity. They could be full-blown strokes. They could even be fatal. And John's been told that surgery has quite a strong likelihood of success in terms of obviating the problem and clearing the clot and whatnot. But there is a smaller possibility that that it wouldn't be successful. And John, who we've been getting to know each other a little bit better. John is a chap with 4 kids and a 17-year marriage. He's of the opinion that he's going to have the surgery. And I completely agree with that. If I was in that situation, I think I would do exactly the right thing. It's no way to go through with the sword of Damocles hanging over you. You've got this hidden, unknown thing somewhere in your body that could just go like that at any moment. I mean, we've all kind of got that, I suppose. None of us know few of us know what's going on in our bodies. We don't know what state the old jam tart is in. We don't know what's going on inside our arteries. We don't know what the hell's going on, but to actually know that you've got a clot and that it could cause this at any particular time, that's no way to go through. So I would certainly go down the surgery option, and John is And John had already said he was definitely inclined towards that route. So, John, we will all be here with you all the way, mate. Don't you worry about that. We'll keep you entertained when you're in hospital, and we'll find out who's close to you, and we'll send them round to the hospital with some decent food. And if you weren't a happily married man with children, I'd send a nice hooker round as well. God, somebody mentioned about the upstairs, the Airbnb thing. Somebody mentioned tongue in cheek about turning it into a knocking shop. And somebody else said he'll have already thought of that. And the truth is I did. I actually did. But if the restaurant wasn't directly underneath it, I probably would as well, in all honesty. But you couldn't risk that kind of reputational damage having a business directly underneath it. It wouldn't be the first restaurant with a knocking shop attached to it. Now, there is. I don't know from personal experience, but I'm assured that this is true, or was true. Hang on. Now, they're not far from me in the Peak District, and I won't tell you exactly where. There is what used to be a pub and is now a Thai restaurant, or was a Thai restaurant. I don't know what it is now. I've not been past it for a good while. But it was a Thai restaurant. Now, I have it on good authority that the upstairs room in this Thai restaurant that used to be a pub was a full-on Thai knock-in shop. And as I said, I've got no personal experience of this. But when I was working for Sainsbury's, we used to deliver there. And we had a guy working with us for a short space of time. His name was Luke. And he was probably, depending on your taste, one of the best looking men I've ever seen. He was only a kid. He was like in his late 20s. And he was, he had been an international class athlete. And he now did, I forget what you called it, but like body sculpting. So not like Mr. Universe, where you bulk up and do all of that, but where you do the body sculpting thing. I can't remember what it's called. Having like the perfect body without being all bulked up. And he was a handsome, handsome boy as well, blonde, blue-eyed, looked a bit like, what's his name, who played the Jackal, but a better looking version. Who played the Jackal? Edward, somebody? God, I can't remember. I can remember the Jackal's name, or the one that they thought he was, Charles Calthorpe. Because, of course, they never did find out exactly who the Jackal was. Based on a true story, I believe. So I'm told. Edward, no, I can't remember. One of you lot will know who played him. But he was an astonishingly good-looking boy. And he delivered to this place, and they literally kidnapped him. They actually kidnapped him. He was one of two kidnaps that happened during my Sainsbury's days. The other was a less sexual kidnap, where they were delivering a Christmas shop, and the turkey that they'd ordered, they hadn't got their turkey for whatever reason. And they went absolutely insane, and they literally imprisoned the poor driver until somebody sent another turkey over. True story, actually. Best wishes, John says, oh, quite right, Ben. Quite right, Ben. It is, yeah. So Barry's going to suffer the daily doses, same as you. Thank you again, Ben, for that. That's very kind, gifting a membership. And well done, Barry, on being the recipient. Best wishes, John, says Mustard. Cheeseburger says, sorry to hear this, John. I would have the surgery. Yeah, me too. It's a horrible thing to think about, but oh, gosh. It's a horrible thing to think about, but put your affairs in order before surgery. Prepare as best as you can for your family. Probably quite good advice. I mean, it's a bit morbid, isn't it, to think about these things? But as far as I know, I'm not actually dying of anything at the moment. But I am getting to be of a certain age, and I have thoughts like that crossing my mind. I think I should declutter so that so that when I fall off the twig, then people, when whoever ends up dealing with it, won't have too much shit to go through. They'll have some cars to deal with it. I'm geographically close to John, says Cheeseburger, but he won't want my shithousery while he's recovering. Oh, John, bless you. Thank you for the kind words. Everybody in the chat, much appreciated from the bottom of my heart. It means so much. John, yeah, totally. This is what we do. This is what we're about. There's a lot of shithousery. There's a lot of piss taking, but it's a community thing, and for whatever reasons, we've all ended up sharing this time together of an evening, and yeah, we're all here for each other, and we'll all be here for you, whatever happens. Fingers crossed for you, John, says Simone. As long as the hooker is dressed as a nurse, maybe it would work, says Ben. Yeah, well, it worked in The Sopranos, didn't it? Oh, next idea, Cheeseburger, from Cheeseburger. 125 quid for room and a meal, 175 quid to include a happy ending. Call it the tasting menu. Well, the thing is with that, the other reason I wouldn't do that is that directly across the road, there is a very well-established brothel that's been there for decades. And I don't know who owns it now. But what I do know, having been semi-involved in such things, what I do know is that people who own brothels are, generally speaking, not people to trifle with. So if you were to set up in direct competition that close, then the chances are that you would find yourself with a pair of concrete Wellingtons upside down somewhere in whatever the latest road is to be built. So bugger that for a game of soldiers. Edward Fox, thank you, Cheeseburger. I knew you'd know. Video. Video title, Boaty's Notches. Right, darlings, it's midnight, and that means it's time to say goodnight. And it's Thursday, so that really should be it until Monday, except I don't think it's going to be. I won't make any promises, but I'm probably going to annoy you a little more over the weekend, because it's been nice to be back. And Mustard actually said something on Tuesday when we spent the day together not filming. And we were talking about, the fact that I hadn't done any videos for 5 or 6 days, which is completely normal for most YouTube channels. But of course, I've been putting stuff out once, twice, 3 times a day. So it felt really weird. Still feels really weird. And he said you could just do live streams. That could be your thing. You could just do live streams. And I'm going to get back to doing videos. I half-heartedly did a bit of one today. But I'll probably have a couple more days of just getting back to stuff, and then I'll get back to doing the videos properly. But the live streams, I've realized how important they are to me. And so in theory, this should be it until Monday. Probably won't be, but there we are. So time to say your goodnight, darling. Have I done my extra 5 minutes detention? I will have done by the time that we end up saying goodnight. Anything else to tell you? Oh, the windscreen is booked back in, and this is Stigbutt, by the way. The windscreen is booked back in for Saturday morning, where they should have the right one. They sent her the Rover 75 MG ZT windscreen with the sensor on it, with the big sensor shroud thing for the rain sensing wipers and automatic lights or whatever. And of course, Stigba doesn't have any kind of sensors. So yeah, it wasn't suitable, but that'll be happening on Saturday at some time between 8 and 12, allegedly. The plan is still to get Stigba in for MOT next to the yard on Monday. What else we got to tell you? Oh gosh, fleet news. Well, the 623 is still sold, awaiting collection. The whatever it is, 414, that's sold, awaiting collection. Barney is now up there and will be going up for sale properly very shortly. If anybody's interested in Barney, do feel free to shout me or Mustard. He's a cracking little chap. I'm using Sheeson as my daily at the moment, and I'm loving it. God, what a fabulous little car they are. What a fabulous little thing they are. And that's it. I think we're up to speed on everything, really. Oh, the only other thing I didn't tell you is that I've been chatting with Boo, because Boo is Boo is, well, for reasons I can't go into, Boo left her job, but she was running the hotel at Gulliver's Kingdom at Matlock, Bath. And that's kind of what she does, and she's exceptionally good at it. And I knew that she'd left her job, so I kind of reached out to Boo a bit tonight and said, "Look, I've got this Airbnb thing potentially happening. Would you fancy helping?" And yeah, she would. So that would be good, because she would be an amazing asset. And there we go. So that is it. Many congratulations to our lovely Captain Mustard again. Enjoy your celebrations. 5,000 subs is a fantastic thing, and you've done it in a very honest way. You haven't deviated. You've stuck to your videos. You've stuck to your style. You've built an incredibly loyal base of fans and friends. I mean, you've done an incredible thing, and your numbers are a tribute to that. I mean, 5,000 subs is kind of the worst element of your channel, because Mustard's channel gets views and other things that channels 4 times his size don't get. So he's done YouTube in very much the right way. Thanks, Biddy. Who are you calling an old Biddy, you hairy arsehole? So there you go, darlings. That is it for tonight, for Thursday Night Live. You can all now go about your lawful business, and I will be back to annoy you very soon. In the meantime, Boaty and Boo. God, that takes me back. That was our hashtag, Boaty and Boo. Oh, one of these days I'll show you the book. God, I'm tempted to do it now, but I can't. Anyway, there we are. Yeah, Biddy. You said Biddy. Well done, Paul. That's a good note to finish on. So, on that note, darlings, please have a safe and peaceful night. Especially you, John. Don't you go doing anything silly. Don't let that naughty clot of yours do anything silly before you go in and get it sorted. Have a safe and peaceful night. Take great care of yourselves. Have the best day that you possibly can tomorrow. Much love from me, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for being here. I'm not farting you out. It's undignified. It's fun, but it's undignified. I just can't be asked to go over to the... I'm going. Goodbye.